Not my usual sparkling water, but around this time of day, I usually crave something fizzy, so that's all we had. But anyway, I'm back, the headless YouTuber doing headless planty things, back with another video. So as you know by the title, I am going to be showing you my 7 plants that desperately need my attention. These are plants that I just have been neglecting for whatever reason. I do love them very much, but I just kind of let them veer off on a path without any assistance, any guidance, any love, any hope. And today I'm here to wrangle them back in. Also, I just wanted it to be a reminder because I feel like I haven't really shown a lot of rehabs lately on my channel that not all my plants are looking great. I actually have quite a few plants that don't look great, as you will see in the next few minutes. So, first plant today is this Philodendron Gloriosum. I have a Gloriosum problem. I just love them, and I would have all of them if I could, but unfortunately I don't have the space. But this one was a propagation from my mother plant, and it was doing fine for a while, and then suddenly it just decided that it didn't want to live life anymore, and it was just like dropping leaves, dropping leaves. I chopped it back again. But I think a part of that is the fact that it was in my Mars Hydro tent for a long time, and if you guys watched my week of plant tours from March, you would have seen that I kind of went into detail about why some of my plants weren't doing that great in my tent. I didn't have enough plants in there. I wasn't watering enough. It's just, I kind of forget that the tent is there. So now that I've kind of shifted it to plants that like are both rehab and some of my like most prized possessions, I'm definitely going in there way more than I used to. I've packed way more plants in there, so the humidity is up to like 90% now. This is my first time having a tent. I am still kind of experimenting with what works and how to get my environment in the conditions that I want. So it is still a learning process, but I'm getting there. So unfortunately, a lot of plants did suffer from neglect and just bad conditions. But Gloriosums are very, very hardy in my experience, so I'm not super worried. The next plant is this very sad Philodendron Zanum silver. This is not the silver Nieve. It's just the Philodendron Zanum silver, and this one was a wish list plant for a really long time, but it got spider mites, and I can actually see spider mites again. I just did a treatment in my tent because I've got spider mites in there, and it happened pretty much like clockwork from the same time last year. So something I need to really make a priority within the next few weeks is doing pest prevention and pest management. I am going to be doing a round of systemic, I think, with all my plants, and then I think I might even go back to using predatory mites. I don't have any active ones right now, so it definitely helped to have mites around. But yeah, this one has spider mites. It looks seemingly healthy, like the root system does, but who really knows what's going on. This one is supposed to be a crawler, I think, but it's climbing. But anyway, yeah, lots of TLC to do to this one. This one is probably the best, second to best looking out of all of the plants I'm going to show you. This is a Philodendron tenue. I do believe it's a different type of tenue than I originally had. I got this one from Alice, and honestly, based on how long I've had this, it should be much bigger by now. But it's just one of those plants that I potted, I put in the tent, and I just called it a day and just kind of forgot about it. But I do need to get this one on a pole. It is due for a repot because it's coming out of these holes. Yeah, it's not doing bad. It's just, it definitely needs something more. So this one is my Philodendron. This is my Philodendron Rubrosynctum Platinum, and got this one from the Equigenera show. It has been such a root, and honestly I should have got this in a parfait the second that I took it home, but honestly I was kind of lazy around that time, and I can't really remember, but I'm pretty sure I just like stuck it into moss and called it a day and was like, all right, have fun, and then it's just all downhill from there. So I don't know what's going on in here. I can't see the stem, I can't see any roots. So if I would take a guess, I think that I've got a little bit of chonk to work with, maybe if I'm lucky, but these roots do not look good whatsoever. And I'm trying to see if there are spider mites on here too. You're probably maybe wondering why I'm so calm when I talk about spider mites, and that's just because honestly now when I see pests, even thrips, even on like one of my most prized possessions, I just don't freak out. There's just no point anymore. It's like, it's inevitable and it happens to me every year, no matter how much systemic I use, how much sprays I use, predatory mites. I think kind of the expectation when you're constantly bringing new plants in or importing and stuff just happens. So, okay, the third to last one is a Philodendron soderoy af, or whatever it is. It used to be a glorious little thing, and then one winter it just decided it just hated me. I did have this one growing on my shelf and it didn't really like being on my shelf. I think probably a plant like this would love pon, but I don't have pon at the moment. This one definitely has spider mites because I can see spider mite damage in here, and I can see some webbings. I'm just going to unfurl it so I can show you. Oh, this is a really good example of spider mites. Step 1, be calm. This is what a spider mite infested leaf looks like. Deformed, ugly coloration on the leaf blade, little spots, little sort of like patterns that run through the veins that kind of resemble thrips damage, but it's spider mite damage. And if you look right at the sinus, right here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there is webbing and you can see little specks, and those are the spider mites. So checking that out. This one probably has spider mites too, this leaf. So I've got I really did not want to treat for spider mites today, but if that's what we gotta do, that is what we're gonna do. Next plant up is one that doesn't look awful, but also had spider mites. I thought it was thrips because the damage looks very, very similar to thrips in emergent leaves. Like, I took one look at it and I was like, oh, I've got thrips in the tent, but have not spotted a single thrips adult or larvae in the tent on any plant, but I did find spider mites on it, and that's just where we're at. They really love to attack emergent leaves, so you just gotta keep an eye on them because they will get in there. They'll get in there before it's even unfurled. Now this leaf is underdeveloped and just looks kind of sickly and sad, but again, it is what it is. But I would love to see this plant sort of glow up and live the life it deserves. I am seeing a lot more growth on it these days, but I'm not loving what I'm seeing in the substrate. I can see some like rotty stuff here, and I 100% know it's because it dries out so effing fast and I can't keep up with the watering. So when it dries out, the roots pretty much die, get crispy, and then you water it and then it becomes mush. So that's exactly what happened to this plant. I do see some new root growth, so I know it's alive and kicking, but it is definitely asking for some TLC. For the grand finale, I present to you Miss Philodendron. Miss Philodendron tenue. I was seriously going to just pull all of this off and chop it up and just say it never happened. No one ever saw this, but I just felt like, why not show this to you? Because yes, I let plants get to a point where it looks like this without tending to it, and I do feel guilty, yes, but I also realize I've had just kind of a crazy last few weeks. This year has already been so nuts, and it's only gonna get more nuts, and I guess I'm just more forgiving of myself now, and when this happens, I don't know, it's kind of a reminder that I also have a life to live and my world does not revolve around plants, believe it or not. So yeah, I would love to see this glow up because the mature forms are so beautiful. I'll throw in a photo here. Yeah, it doesn't have like that sort of velvety, dark leaf texture that's like so coveted in the plant industry, in the plant community, But I love the ribbing on it. I love the leaf shape. I love the leaf color. I love everything about Philodendron tenues, which is why I have not fully given up on this thing yet. I did try, I put it on a pole, but we are 86ing all of these poles, yeeting it out of the house and never looking back. I actually just kind of twiddled with a new lazy pole alteration thanks to a comment that blew my mind. I'm going to insert, no, I'm not going to insert it yet. I attempted it and it worked, but Jing actually was like, why don't you just do it this way? It's the same concept, but like 50 times easier. So I will be removing this pole and getting it on a lazy pole today because the stem is quite long and I don't want to chop the plant. I would like to just keep whatever root system it has. I'm not trying to completely reroot this thing. I really just want to get it in a better spot. Okay, without further ado, let's just start. I don't know who I want to work on first. I'm almost thinking I should do sort of like the easier ones first. This one's calling to me. So let's tackle this one first. Okay, wow. Ow! Freaking crap, that hurt. Let's unearth this guy and see what exactly is going on. I am gonna wet it a bit. And I'm just doing this so that the moss gets a little bit more dampened and they're not breaking. This moss mix looks, this moss mix, now that sounds stupid, this moss mix. This moss mix looks delicious, but it was like, nope, I hate you. Whew, okay, so first off, I am just so happy. It's not, okay, now I'm not, oh, okay, well, okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing, you guys. I knew it was struggling, and so I tried to help. I did. I really did. I had the best intentions, but half of the stem was rotted. So I literally just carved it out, and that is why you see this crater in this stem. I don't even know how this thing is alive, but I thought I'm gonna do whatever it takes, and I have done this before on a monstera and it calloused over just fine, and it's growing and it's healthy and happy. So I said, why not try it with this one? The good news is it's not rotted anymore. Like, it feels great. It's very firm, and half of this stem is actually still quite firm too. It's very firm. So I think we're gonna be okay, surprisingly. It looks like crap, but I think she's gonna be fine. We just need to do something. Of course, where I always start is the chunk clean. So I'm gonna show you some befores. I just wanna remove like all of this sheath here, all of this sort of like black sheath stuff, and just getting it in a little bit of a better place. So now that my chonk is clean, I'm just going to be rinsing it in some water. Still have not gotten my hydrogen peroxide yet because I keep forgetting. After I've done something like this, I would typically just do half hydrogen peroxide, half water, and then just kind of stir it around and just let it sit in there and get nice and clean. But since I didn't actually find any rot, I'm not super worried about using hydrogen peroxide. I love seeing all the nasty gunk come off. But while I was using the washroom, not that you needed to know that. I said washroom. I told myself that I wasn't going to like pick up Canadian terminology like washroom, but it's happening, you guys. I've been here for like five years now. 6 years? 5 years? And it's fully happening. But anyway, I was using the bathroom and I thought that maybe my super chunky asteroid size perlite might be good for this because I would love to get some more aeration in there. I was thinking of using the bubbler, but I don't really want to set it up. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with chunky perlite, but otherwise, I think that it's gonna make it, as terrible as this looks, I think it's gonna make it. There is a brand new growth point here that looks super healthy. I am not going to chop these leaves off because I want the mobile nutrients to be able to move into the rest of the plant, into the new growth, and I'm just gonna kind of let it do its thing. So with that said, let me go rinse some of my perlite and figure out what vessel I'm gonna use, and I'll be right back. Please don't fall. Oh gosh. Ah! Oh my gosh. Is she okay? I'm okay. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I don't know if this is a better view or worse view. I don't really know what's going on right now, but I have rinsed my perlite, and what I've decided to do, instead of just putting it straight into a no drainage pot, I'm actually going to use a pot with drainage and then put it in a pot with no drainage. So these ones are some of my newer pots, and I really love the design of them. Why? I don't know. I think because the holes are a lot bigger than something like this. When the roots come through it, it's easier to pull out of here, but it's when they come out of these slits that you are just good luck. Good luck and good riddance. I like that these don't have any side slits, and it kind of contains more of the water in there, and then all of the holes in this pot are large enough that you can just easily remove escaped fruits. I'm going to ruin my manicure, but you know, that's just the life that we live. And truly, I mean, I love nail polish, but I don't necessarily need to have my nails painted all the time. And I do try and give my nails a break so that they don't stain and stuff, which is why I avoid colors like red if I can, because it stains so badly, even with a base coat. But the reason why I always have my nails painted in my videos is because I don't want you to see the crap under my nails. Even though they're short, soil and yucky stuff still get in there. It just does not look great. So that is why my nails are painted. I already ruined it and I just painted it this morning, but whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna get some perlite into here. I do not like the way this perlite feels. It feels like styrofoam, and I freaking hate styrofoam. I literally hate it with a passion, but yeah. Nope, don't like it. I hate it. Ugh, I don't like touching it. Oh, too much. Is it? No. What? No. Why does everything I do have to always be so chaotic? Yucky. I'm gonna mute this part because I don't want to trigger anyone who also does not like styrofoam. Ew, my hands are crumbly. Yucky. Okay, ow. Here is one thing that I love about chunky perlite. Look at all of those delicious air pockets. There's so much air in here. It's like, it's incredible. I would love to use this in my soil, but honestly, this perlite is so expensive that I cannot afford to put it in my soil. So I probably will only be using this with pon, leca, and on its own. I just want it to stay as clean as possible, preserve it as long as possible so that I can make it stretch for a long time, because I paid $24 Canadian for like 3 tiny bags. So yeah, this is not something that I can just freely like mix into soil and stuff. But look at those air pockets. Honestly, this grade perlite is amazing for growing in no drainage. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to highlight that there are a ton of air pockets in here, and I will be talking more about that in my second no drainage video, which goes up next week. Now I'm gonna put it in this vessel, and then what I'll do is just fill about 3/4 to almost halfway. Did I say 3/4? I meant a quarter. There's a hole. There's a hole. Oh my. Okay. Well, there goes all that water. Again, chaos. Always chaos. Let's just make sure this has no holes. Okay. Now let me try and save as much of this water as possible. Oh my. Close call. I forgot to add Mite. Oh well. This one is in, and hopefully it is happier in perlite than it was in moss, but I'll just have to keep an eye on this one. Next up on the list, who do we want to do next? Let's do Sad Boy, Philodendron sodery. You guys. I have no words today for the vocabulary or lack thereof. My soderoy af, or whatever this is. Let's see what's going on in here. Oh no. I can tell that this soil is very old. I think that I potted this plant in early 2021. I think it's just needed better soil for a long time. So again, first things first, I'm just gonna clean up this chunk a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, looking at it more, I quite hate this root system. I really don't like it at all. Everything feels fried and just like yucky. I do see some like nice roots coming in, like these sort of pinkish new ones coming out of roots that look absolutely dead, but I don't like it. And I gotta make a call here. Like this one is brand new. This one is like red and healthy, and that's kind of what I want. Like you can see sort of like how crisp some of these are, but you can also see brand new roots coming from the seemingly dead ones. So why do I have such an issue with this? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna separate the new growth from the original chonk here and just see what it looks like. Well, all right then. So that came off. That's like the second time this has happened to me on camera. Yeah, I'm just going to separate it because I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I'm gonna chop right here. You can see original chonk, new growth from the auxiliary bud. and there are new roots on this brand new rhizome, so not worried, but we're just gonna chop. And hopefully I don't slice into some good roots, but I don't see any more auxiliary buds on this chunk. This is a single node, so I think it is. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a look at this chunk a little closer to analyze the situation. Now we're just working with this little chunk, which makes me feel a little bit less stressed out. I already feel a lot better, but this root here, let's see. It's not like 100% dead, but it's like kind of dead at the end. So I'm just, yeah, I would rather just start over. Some of you guys are gonna get mad at me, but you know what I say. Your plants, your rules, right? Okay. Chopping, chopping, chopping. Cause I want roots that look better than this. She deserves more. Okay, I'm gonna wet this chunk a little bit. And now I'm going to just clean it up. It's much easier to clean chunks when you've soaked them for a little bit so that the sheath and whatever gunk is on there sort of loosens up. It especially helps if you do a hydrogen peroxide soak before the clean. You can even do 100% hydrogen peroxide for like 10-15 minutes and yeah, just get all that like nasty stuff nice and softened, because when you have old sheath that is like still dry, it's kind of hard to get off of it. So yeah, I just don't really have the luxury of time right now because for one, I'm filming, two, it is almost 4 o'clock and I haven't eaten yet, and I don't really want to work tonight because my husband and I just started a new show on Apple TV and it's called Severance. And so far it is really good. It is very like Black Mirror type show and I'm intrigued. Haven't had the chance to watch a ton of TV lately because the schedule has been so crazy, and I thought I was gonna have to leave town last minute for work, but that got pushed back, so kind of relieved. But yeah, I was just like, for a minute there, I was like really frantic trying to get like everything I needed to get done before I left Canada. But yeah, now I've got a little bit more time, which is great. She's looking really good. Look at that figure. Now the question is, what are we rehabbing in? Do I want to do moss? Yeah. All right, so I've got these new pots from Jing. You guys are probably familiar with this size. I use this all the time. I show this all the time on my channel. It's probably my most frequently asked question is where do you get these pots? And yeah, I get it from my friend Jing. I really, really like them. But she got 2 new sizes. So this is the new small one. And then there is there's a large one. So where's my moss? Oh, here, duh. You know what? It's a freaking crawler. Okay, this isn't gonna work because this vessel is too tiny. Since this one is just a propagation, I'm gonna just use one of my reused takeout containers. That way it's wide enough that it can live in here while it's rehabbing and pushing out a few new leaves, hopefully. but yeah, this should be good for now. I am just going to try and bury this one lone root deeper into the pot, and then I'll have the entire rhizome sitting above the substrate, but I will be covering some of these aerial roots that are poking out. I should label this, but I'm probably not because I'm lazy. Part of me likes the suspense of like seeing propagations come back to life, and then the other half of me, like when they're just dormant and I have a bunch of sticks sitting in my tent, it aggravates me because I'm just like, who are all of you? So this is what remains of my little Soderoy Af. I'm thinking maybe in the middle of the year or like in the beginning of fall, I'll do an update on all of these plants. Granted, they're still with us, and just kind of show you like where they are now or where they are in the future. So yeah, hopefully by the next time I show you this plant, I actually have a leaf or two to show you. But for now, she's just a stump. Next one I'm tackling is this Pasta Zanum Silver that's in soil. I really thought this was a crawler, but like I feel like it wants to crawl, I'm just not allowing it to. Roots look pretty good for the most part, but we won't really know till we uncover the whole thing. This soil is like black. Why is it so dark? Pretty much all of the roots that were on the original chunk here are dead. And you can just see how gross, and they're not soft and mushy, but they're definitely dead and they're just falling right off. So I'm just gonna chop this whole thing away from the main chunk and we will go from there. Let's see what's going on with this guy. It's definitely not dead. It's very firm, and I'm trying to look for an auxiliary bud. It looks like something kind of woke up right here, but what am I exactly looking at? Oh, it's like something grew and then it just didn't. It's like, it looks like a little caterpillar. Okay, so I'm definitely not throwing this away, but I am gonna chop off all these nasty roots, and I should have been cutting away all of my dead roots away from this soil, but I'm not gonna reuse this, but I am gonna sift out the amendments because I'm super neurotic and I like to reuse everything. So I'll just put it in this little corner. Why is it shiny? Guys, there is like, it's like sparkly. There's like glitter and it looks like confetti. What is, I'm highly confused, but I'll clean that up off camera. All right. Oh gosh, soil in my throat. Look at how cute these little roots are that were hiding under that sheath. They look like little fingers, like little red sausage fingers. Oh, it's kind of gross. Oh, I don't like it anymore. It looks weird. I have goosebumps. That's weird. I liked it and then I didn't like it. Root check on this one. These look good. This one does not look so good. All right, I'm not mad at this root system, honestly. I'd say this is pretty substantial for a specimen this size. I'm just confused. I thought this was a crawler, but I guess it's gonna climb. I wanna soak this chunk a little bit to loosen it up a bit, but I don't really wanna just submerge all of this underwater. I guess I'll just clean up what I can for now. See, look, what is that? Why do I have, there's like legit confetti in here. So confused. I am going to keep it in soil, but I kind of also want to do like a mossy soil mix, and I actually think I might have a mossy soil mix already. So let's see what I can dig up. While I was getting this set up, I was actually thinking of a story. First off, my mother-in-law moved out of the province and she pretty much just gave us free rein to take whatever we wanted that she wasn't going to take with her. So I grabbed so many of her old pots that I could use for my plants. Boiling leca, boiling lechuza, and this is one of them. I just really like the size. It's very, very thin. So what I'm gonna do is give my pasta a little bath. What I'm gonna do is just add some of my non-scented Dr. Bronner's soap. And I'm just gonna add some directly to the water. And then I'm just gonna kind of wash it down like this. But so while I do this, I'll tell you a story. Back when I first started my channel like a year ago, one of the first videos I ever put up was my sphagnum moss video. And I think it was that video. Some girl left a comment and was like, ew, like that's disgusting. Like, why are you using your kitchen pots for your plants? And like, I would rather just use dirty moss than do that. Like, that's not sanitary, gross. And I was like, first of all, calm down. It's like not that deep. Yeah, I was like, okay, so I use different pots and stuff for my plant things. She was like, still gross. How is that still gross if I'm not like interchanging them? Like I'm not using them for, so anyway, I think she was just finding any reason to be mean. But yeah, it's just funny because she left that comment and like seemingly did not like me. But like she came back to several other videos to be like, oh, love that plant, like acted like nothing happened. Like how do you leave someone a comment like that and then just like 180 and like try and be best buds? I don't understand. I have like gotten some meaner comments in the last few weeks, but they keep dirty deleting them. Like they'll post it and then they'll delete it. I don't know why. Like the girl who commented on my anxiety, plants and depression video and was like, you're a drug addict and I feel sorry for your husband who has a wife who's a drug addict. And she's like, I'm so angry that you're like blaming the United States for your own irresponsibility. Like, what are you even talking about, lady? I am obsessed with this new pot. If you need cheap pots, like to sanitize your stuff or whatever, go to the thrift store. That's where I get all my vessels. It's where I get a lot of the things that I use to organize my plant things. Like if I can avoid buying brand new, I 100% will. I'm definitely not the type of person that like needs everything brand new. So anyway, I'm just gonna dry these little spinach leaves and then we will get it repotted. I'm not quite sure the substrate I'm gonna use yet, but let me just ponder over the next few minutes. I'm gonna be adding some mycorrhizal inoculant to this one. I don't know why, like it's obviously climbing. I haven't done a lot of research on the pasta silver, but it feels so strange to get it onto a pole because it's a pasta. But it's like, it's almost like asking for it, these freaking roots. I've actually never been so confused before. I'm like legitimately like, what do I do? I don't know. I really feel so silly for putting it on a pole. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it for now and see what it does over the next few months and we'll go from there. But for now, I feel too weird putting it on a pole. It's not that it's weird. Like I did show in another video someone getting their Dean McDowell to climb and it looked so majestic. I know somebody locally that has had their Dean McDowell climb as well as a Gloriosum. So truly, like, I feel like you can make plants do anything you want, but I tend to try to not train something to go against what they would normally do in nature, says the person who grows in no drainage. What a hypocrite. So I don't know, we'll see. Maybe it just like needed better soil. It needed more of those roots to be covered. Hopefully this is what the doctor ordered because it's all I've got. Pasta silver is done and I'm actually feeling really, really good about everything I did to it, and keep your fingers crossed for me for this little guy. Let's do this Gloriosum next. Luckily the roots, oh, because I put landscape fabric. Go Charmaine. I love, love, love using landscape fabric on pots with drainage. It just helps so much. And I'm gonna show you how easy it is to remove it from the fabric. Okay, so that guy is like stuck on there. Just peels right off. Assessment. Roots are kind of, I would say about 90% of them are good. But just for how long this thing has been in soil, it should have more roots by now, but it doesn't. Oh God, it's joking. Wish I was working with pond today so that it wasn't so dusty. I'm gonna be chopping off some of these roots. If you are against root chopping, look away now. Here's some more sheath pulling for you sickos out there that like this stuff, including myself. Oh, that was a good one. No cleaning needed on this chunk. I think I should probably give this a soak down because this one had a lot of spider mites on the emergent leaf. Ow! Freaking heck. So, how is everybody feeling about their current collection of plants in terms of how many you have? This is a very important question, especially at this time of year. If you are on the same side of the world as I am, if you've never been in the hobby before and you started collecting like crazy over the fall and winter, you are in for a freaking surprise in the spring, because that's when they all really wake up. They use a lot more water. There are pests. And no, I'm not trying to scare you. I just want you to be prepared for what's to come, just because having a lot of plants in the spring is a lot different than your care in the summertime. Or what? The care for your plants in the winter is not going to be the same as the spring. There's a lot more maintenance that comes with your plants when they're actively growing. You know, like your dormant plants, they're not using a lot of water, they're not growing a ton, you're not needing to repot. But in the springtime, they just blow up and it's a lot of work. So around this time, I really like to assess my collection and just see, like, who do I love, who do I not love that much, who can I sell or get rid of, and just kind of make sure I'm in a good place to be able to care for the amount of plants that I have. So yeah, if you haven't asked yourself that question yet or thought about it, I would suggest you do that sometime soon, just so you're prepared. I am going to do the same and get it into this mossy mix, but which pot? I could do the same one, but I don't, honestly, I think I'm not going to be using the pots with the side slits anymore. I really liked them at first, but now I'm just realizing I just hate those side slits. Oh, it's messy in here. You know what would be ideal? Like, I talked about this recently, how like big YouTubers or influencers or whatever, they have like their own team of people that like just help, and production, editing, blah blah blah. I wouldn't really want that. I like that I'm alone. I like that I can edit the way I want to edit and stuff, like slightly control issues, I guess, but also just like all of this is pretty therapeutic for me, and I don't really want that to be interrupted by anything else. So anyway, not that I'd really ever get to that point, to be honest, but if I could hire anybody to help with my YouTube, I think it would just be having somebody, obviously, that I'm comfortable with, that's down to just clean up after me and just clean up as I'm working so that by the end of filming, I don't have to worry about it so much. I like cleaning, like it's therapeutic for me. I consider it a hobby, if you are allowed to classify that as a hobby. But I don't like this kind of cleaning where like I make a big mess where there's soil and things that need to be sorted and things just it's a lot. Like you guys have been there, you know, plant mess is like totally different than like, oh, I'm gonna go clean my living room and, you know, put dishes away and steam my floors. It's totally different. So yeah, I really don't enjoy it. I don't like cleaning up. I don't like this kind of cleanup. I need a pokey stick. I'm gonna add my little rocks that were in here before to stabilize it so it doesn't like tip over, and then I'll add some more soil. Washed down, repotted, and did I add Myco? No, I forgot to add Myco. Oh well, snooze you lose, buddy. Gotta speak up. Okay, I need to blast through this because the soil situation in my nose is becoming an issue. And also I'm sleepy. Next up is this Philodendron tenue, which I actually think I am gonna get on a pole because I see cutie little roots coming out. It is a climber, so let's just get her done. All the dust. These roots are so teeny tiny. They're so thin. There are no roots coming off of the stem that it was propagated from, so I think I'm just gonna chop it off. Not I think, I know, I am. I'm doing it, like literally right now. See ya, sucker. Oh, there was a root. Oh, it's dead. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do here is get the pole right here because all of these roots are forming on the back. All the leaves are facing this way. So I think that it's a good opportunity to do it. There is a new leaf coming out, so I just have to be very, very careful. I'm gonna try to do a lazy pole with a new fastener that was originally a suggestion by someone in the comments of my lazy pole part 2 video that went up. I did try doing it, but it was a little bit too complicated for me in terms of actually doing it. So let me show you what that looks like, and then I'll show you the version that my friend Jing suggested to me. What am I looking for? Oh, here. So if you remember in Lazy Pole Part 2 video, I had this whole insane, I had this like really overly complicated way of fastening these like little strips to hold in the moss and enclose some of that humidity. So someone in the comments did this crazy diagram that I'll include here, like super impressive. I was on the way home last night from my mother-in-law's place and the comment came in and I was so mind blown. I read the comment like 5 times in the car and I was getting so car sick, but I was just like, how did this person manage to draw this out? You guys are fascinating. So anywho, I did try it. I think this is what that person meant to do, where it's like you literally just fasten it with a little triangle here and then a slit. But honestly, even just like using a X-Acto knife to do this was kind of difficult, and I just can't really see myself doing that all the time. So yeah, this is a great idea. I love it more than my original thing with the Velcro. The only thing is that with the Velcro, I feel like it's a lot easier to adjust it to the size you need without having to like be very calculated in where you're putting your slits and all that stuff. So I don't know. I think I'll be using both styles still, just because I like the flexibility of being able to easily fasten and unfasten Velcro to like the tightness or to loosen it up a little bit. Whereas I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute. Whereas if you have something like a slit, it's like that's your size and that's it. Anyway, I am gonna try it. So let me just grab everything I need. I think I'm gonna pot it in, this is almost too small. Oh, it's tiny. It's just for babies. Can my sister stop texting me, please? I think this size is perfect. It's a little on the larger side. What about this one? That's much better. Okay, so this is a little 4-inch pot. Where's my plastic at? Oh, it's all the way across the room. No, I'm so hungry. Ow. First, I'm gonna start with the actual pole. This is absurdly long. I do not need a moss pole that is 5 times the size of this plant. So I am going to chop it down a hair. I think I'll just do it halfway. Like, or maybe a little bit more than halfway, like this. Let's start by getting it to the curve that I want. Like that, maybe a little tighter. Yeah, that's a good curve. And now I need my fasteners. They have to be able to go all around the entire thing and lock in the back. This is where I feel like my lack of skills are gonna come into play, because I'm not the type of person that can sit and measure out things. I always have to eyeball it. I'm very like, just gotta do things fast. I can't do it calculated. I hate math. So it's like, it's just getting the size right without being triggered about right here. And so I'm eyeballing it. I'm eyeballing it. Gotta strap. Well, if my sister texts me one more time, oh, it's a video of my niece. Accepted, but muting her for a little bit. So what she did, when I say she, I mean Jing, you cut a slit. I'm gonna try and do the slits a little bit shorter this time. And let's just see. This, like that. This is amazing. Why didn't I think of this? I was like really out here hole punching, and but then again, it's like, is it gonna be the right size? Like, this looks way too tiny to fit this thing. If this is perfect, I'm gonna scream. Okay, so it's perfect and I'm not gonna scream. OMG. I'm shook. I'm shook. I will say I don't like how, like, this seems like a recipe for disaster in terms of like getting caught on other leaves and stuff, but like this hasn't really affected any of my plants, so we'll see. If this is a scammer, I'm gonna lose my mind. Hello? Hello? Why do they do that? Why do they call and then they just hang up? Like, try and scam me. Like, do something. Don't just freaking call me and breathe into the phone like a creep. Oh, what if it's a stalker? This design is great because then these are super easy to reuse. No need for Velcro, no need for a hole puncher. Amazing. I wish I included this in my Lazy Pull Part 2 video, but I guess I'll just have to make a Part 3. So now that my strips are created, that was so much easier. I want to tell everyone. Okay, so let's fill my substrate a little bit. I'm not gonna forget the Mite this time. No way, not me. Is it gonna fit in this pot? Oh, I freaked out for nothing. Now I'm gonna add, where did my fasteners go? Oh. I'm gonna add one of my fasteners at the top. It's actually really hard to do a lazy pole that has virtually no stem, but we made it. Oh, this looks so much better. Are you serious? Let's just fill more substrate so that I can stabilize it more. Now we just need to fill this little guy with some moss. I love it. I love it. It works so well. That looks so much better. I mean, despite the fact that it's so dirty from the moss, but once it's in the exo or once it's in the greenhouse and I can spray it down and clean off all this moss, it's gonna look so much better. But yeah, if you watched my lazy pole part 2 video and you want to try these fasteners instead, they are so much easier. Maybe I'll put a link, like a pinned comment saying to watch this video if you want to learn how to make easier fasteners. I'm gonna go wash this off so that I can show it to you guys without it looking so grimy. I can't get out of here. Oh, something's gonna break, and it's probably gonna be my body. Now that it's cleaned up, you can see what it looks like. It's invisible. I love it. Like, are you joking? This is everything I hoped for and more. So anyway, closer shot. I do have a fastener down at the bottom to hold in the stem, and I've just packed it with moss at the front and in the back. These fasteners are super discreet. You can't see it. It only puckers out very, very little. I would say just be careful with this because these are quite sharp. This could probably rip a leaf. So what you can do is just cut off like all the really sharp ends and just make them kind of like at an angle, I guess. Or if you have one of those like flashcard or like paper rounders, that works too, but no, it's way less sharp. So it's not like necessary, but definitely recommended, I guess, if you have everything kind of squished into a greenhouse. If you're moving it around, it'll probably rip it, but I haven't had any issues with these being pointy and I don't really mind them. So I don't know, I guess we'll see. But yeah, it works really good. I love it. I think I have like a piece of dirt in my eye and it hurts. I don't like Coke. Coke doesn't taste good to me. It tastes like just all sugar and, okay? Sugar and grossness. We've got 2 left here and I am quickly losing. Oh, this one isn't semi-hydro. I didn't realize. Okay, so here's a beauty shot. Beauty shot of the before. Oh my gosh, this is pathetic. I don't think this thing has rooted that much, if at all, into this pole. At least I don't think so. But who knows? There are a lot of roots here though. I never want to see one of these poles ever again in my life. Oh, that's crunchy. It's so crunchy. It is rooted in here. Mother. It's so crazy how like intuitive Pudge is. I think maybe all dogs are like this, but Vince should be home right now. but he's working a little bit later, and Pudge does not want to be locked in the bedroom because he wants to be able to greet Vince at the door when he comes home, which is why he's barking. Okay, so let's just dismantle this, I guess. See you never, stupid. People are leaving comments on my lazy pull part 2 video about like better ways to do the fasteners, and it is killing me that I can't just like go in and edit the video and be like, wait, watch this. Sometimes, and this goes for like many parts of my life, I just make things a lot more complicated or difficult than they need to be, and I can't really think simply, I guess, like doing such a simple fastener. But to my credit, we have been pondering this fastener idea for weeks, and none of us thought of this fastener idea until that comment came in. So I feel like doing this collaboratively and putting that video up first was a good idea. What is that thing called where, like, you know, in like team meetings you like brainstorm ideas? It's called like a group think or something like that. I truly was hoping when I put that video up, because I wasn't like 100% convinced that that fastener idea was like my favorite, despite sort of trial and erroring? That work? Oh, my stomach, I'm hungry. Despite like doing a bit of trial and error with other fastener ideas, I kind of felt like putting that video up, I would get a suggestion that would kind of give me an aha moment. And the moment I saw that beautiful diagram, I was like, aha. It's a great design. It's just, it's a little bit more complicated. It's whatever you guys prefer. If you want to do the one that they suggested with the little triangle and the slit, it works because I made one, but the 2-slit one is just way faster and easier for me. Let go. This root breaks, I'm gonna throw a tantrum. Get out of here. Truth be told, I'm not loving the way this stem looks, but the thing is, it's not rotten, like, at all. It's actually really firm. It just looks gross on the outside, but some of these roots are yucky, so I'm gonna chop them off. So I'm gonna take off these leaves because they are absolutely dead and gone. See ya. See ya. Sorry about it. So sorry. I feel like, no. This one I feel like still has a little bit of life left to give. So I'll let whatever is in this stem do its thing. But man, this thing rooted so much into the pole. I am so freaking hungry. I cannot believe I haven't eaten today. Not that it would be the first time that I would go all day without eating, but most of the time I don't have an appetite and I have to force myself to eat, but then I get like violently hungry at the end of the day. I know that, like, you know, it's the same concept as intermittent fasting, but I'm not fasting. Do I just want to chop it off? I'm just really not liking it. It's not rotten, but I just really don't like the way the stem looks, and I've got so many roots up here, so I'm not even like slightly worried about it. So I'm just gonna chop right here. I could propagate this. I guess I'll try, but it's the nastiest looking chunk I've ever seen. So I have moss roots, so I don't actually have to put this into passive hydro. And I don't think I really want to. I think I am gonna do soil for this one. Honestly, I hope at least half of these plants do have some kind of glow up that I can show you, but it is gonna be a crazy year. When my new niece or nephew is born, I am gonna be gone for like a month, and I'll have to rely on my friends to come and care for my plants. Oh my gosh, Pudge is crazy. He's a crazy guy. I'm gonna do this one back in soil, and I think I'll do one of these rectangular pots. I just love how rigid they are. They're so strong, and it's like a really, really good plastic, whereas these are just like a little bit more flimsy, although the rim makes it pretty sturdy. But on the other orchid pots, like this one, like they're just like so soft. Ow. And since I did just chop this, I'm not gonna water it right away. Oh, why did I do that? There's soil everywhere now. I also need to get this one on a freaking lazy pole. Man. I just spilled precious Mite everywhere. I'm literally picking it up off the floor. Where are my strips? My tummy is rumbling. Hey. Oh, I've done that twice now. Here's one strip with the chicken strips. I just had an epiphany. The perfect name for this invisible pole. Invisible. Okay, it's not that easy to say. Like invisible, invisible. It's invisible. Why? I need to eat something. She's a little delirious. Game time. It's game time, baby. I'm just gonna fasten the top. Is this too big now? I'm gonna freaking lose my... Okay. I cannot wait to put this video up so that I can link everybody in my lazy pole part 2 video and spare them the freaking headache. Because now truly it's a lazy pole. It's not even like a kind of lazy pole. It's just a lazy pole, which is amazing. Magic fairy dust. And now I'm going to add my moss. This one is pretty low in the pot. Like the caterpillar is literally just sticking up out of here, so I don't need to pack very high, but this will do for now. Okay, should I just do it? Yeah, I'll just do it. These roots look awful, like absolutely dreadful. Oh no. Let's see if I can give you a close-up of this nastiness. It's bad. It's bad. So we're gonna go a little bit chop happy here and have no regrets because we've got lots of nice new roots up at the top. It's not a lot. Oh my gosh, where do I even start? These are so gross. They're like soft and mushy. Where was I putting? Why do I keep asking you questions like you can answer them? All right, let's do this one. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's not a good idea. It's really just these secondary roots that are like really bad. I'm just gonna get the ones off that I know are super dead and mushy. I love you guys for always looking out for me, but it's funny, I still get comments on my Rudsta build video. Very embarrassing. I really shouldn't have even posted that, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show everyone how smart I am. You know, no, I'm starting over. I can't be bothered with this bull crap. So yeah, that was like the worst drilling job ever. Like if there was like a YouTube award for like the dumbest drilling, I would have won it hands down. Well, me and Nick together. That was a collaborative effort on our part. That is very mushy. It was just so bad. We were drilling for like 2 hours to get one freaking hole. People still comment like that was the most painful thing to watch ever, and like this is what you're supposed to do. You know, I'm never gonna attempt it again. Nobody ever give me power tools. All right, so the root system is much smaller now, but I mean, that was not it. Oh, I hate that sound. Not the best view for some chunk cleaning ASMR, but I just really want to get this cleaned up. And I want to wrap up this video because I am tired and my butt hurts from sitting on the floor. I've been filming for like 2.5 hours. I thought this video was gonna be a fast one, but I was dead wrong. Honestly, I have faith that this one is gonna bounce back, and I have a good feeling. I feel like I'm gonna get a nice size leaf this year. I just feel it in my bones. I want a Patricia. Oh, I want a Patricia. I want a Patriciae that looks just like Jing's. Hers is so big and beautiful and dark and magical, and that is my goal. Oh, I'm not even centered. Whoops. I love doing that. I'm gonna opt for a tall pot on this just because it's like, obviously it's got these long leaves and it's been kind of a pain in the butt being in such a small vessel. So I think that this is gonna be a better situation for it. I don't know if I want to keep it in passive hydro or if I want to do soil. My heart is saying soil, but I don't know if that's the right choice, and I don't know. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna do soil because I've had it in passive hydro for forever and it's just not working out for me. Oh, I was doing something. Oh my gosh. My attention span. Oh, that was not a good idea, Charmaine. Who the hell do you think you are? Didn't think it was gonna leak. I did that so that it wouldn't be dusty, but now I'm regretting my decision. Oh my god. Guys, I really need to. Oh, what a disaster. This video is probably gonna stress some of you out, and for good reason. I kind of want to give my patty a pull. I thought this is the one that I wasn't going to do a pull. And now here I am. Maybe I'll do like a really tiny one. Oh, I've got... Okay. Let's just do this really quick. We're already here. I'm just going to do a really small pull for it because I do want it to start to climb. This is all I have left to give. Whoa, no. Spill all this Myco. Okay. Lazy pull on Miss Patricia is done. And hopefully she takes well to life in soil. I'm not feeling 100% confident about it, but I at least have her on my radar now and I'll just keep an eye on her. So anyway, let's show you everybody together. I do not recommend doing all of this in one day. That was extremely exhausting. I wish you guys could see the filth that surrounds me. So I would say this was a pretty successful repot. Got a lot done. Finally TLC'd some plants that have been begging for it, and I have plenty more. So there's more where this came from, but I'm not sure I'm going to do it as a separate video like I did with this one, because I do want to show like a before and after of these plants specifically, and I know that if I have too many plants on that list of like plants I want to see glow up, like glow up hard, I have to keep it to a minimum. So I think that this is all I can manage in terms of like really trying my best to show you guys a good glow up later in the year. Overall, feeling good. I think all I need to do now is just spray them down with an insecticidal soap for spider mites. But other than that, I am done. I think we hit 7K in February, which is really exciting. Oh, Vince is home. So close to finishing before he got home. Hello.
Oh, you're still filming. I honestly thought you were in the bedroom.
Oh, you're funny. I was like, oh, he just ignored me. Cool. Hi, I do need to finish filming this outro though, so.
Can I be a part of it?
No.
Okay.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up because it helps Pudgeonize visibility a lot on YouTube. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all of the new subscribers, the old subscribers, all the love, all the comments, and I will see you in the next one.